If you could, please repeat after me. Wrong intro. Peace. I'm your brother Crumb. That's funny. And you are now watching Crumb TV, Chicago.
Hey, you are now watching Crumb TV.
Crumb TV.
Hey, we in Chicago, y'all, and y'all watching Crumb TV.
It's your brother, Tim Buck 2, Ashe.
You are now watching Crumb TV.
You in Chi-Town finest. You're in Inglewood, always up to no good.
Man, I'm telling my brother Crumb.
You're watching Crumb TV.
I'm your humble brother, and you are watching Crumb TV. Reporting live from the Wild Hunters, Southside Chicago.
And you now watching Crumb TV.
And you're watching Crumb TV.
Crumb TV, baby. Hey.
Crumb TV.
All right, so this is where I say that part. If you could, please repeat after me. Peace, Ashe, Islam, Namaste, Hotep, Grand Rising, Assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam. Salam. Shalom. Que pasa? Bom dia. Oseo. Halito. Wagwan. What up, though? Rahubet. Konnichiwa. Jumbo. How are the children? Whatever the greeting is in your respective language, I am your humble brother Crumb here for another installation of, this is really not Crumb TV. This is actually the Three Kings, the perfect trifecta. We're still getting the branding part together, but you already know what it is. This video is called Attack on Black Masculinity. But before we get into all of that, I want to do what I do best, and let's put some respect in your name by acknowledging the first responders. Now, there are more than about 50 first responders in the room right now, but I'll just do the first three for the sake of time. We call that the perfect trifecta. So number one in the building of this perfect trifecta is True King. He says, peace, family. We say in peace back. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. Number two in the building. Look, it looks like True King is tapping in again for a double whammy. He says, smash that like button. Now, that's really not number two, but, you know, in spirit of the post, we're going to go with that. The official number two is Egyptian Deity. She gives that black heart times 4. Family, you got to tap into the signs and the symbols, and you got to tap into the numerology of this whole, this thing. So I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. Number 3 in the building of this perfect trifecta, American Healer TV. Now, American Healer is really Dr. Inky, and we usually don't allow the people in here to be first responders because they know when everything's about to happen. And first responders are people who don't know. Like, there's an emergency, boom, I don't know what's going on, and then they respond. So I'll read it because he's there, but we're going to have to do another one. He says, peace to all. I'm excited about this one. Number 3, the real number 3 is still, okay, no. Here we are, number 3, Michael Phoenix. He says, I'm in this piece. Absolutely. We see you. We love you. Appreciate you. Family, if we could also, could we get a roll call going? Let us know what city you're in, what state maybe, zip code, if that's what you prefer, coast, island, country, whatever the case may be. We'll do a roll call. Let us know where you're at. We want to put some respect on your name. So with that said, in the first 5 minutes, we try to, get all of the to-dos out. So with that said, let's bring the family on. Peace and love, good brothers. CRIP Jesus, how are you?
Peace. I'm very excited about this one, man. I think this is going to really put the CRIP on the Jesus in perspective, like masculinity. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Glad to have you. But before I let you go and move on, could you tell the family where we can find you at?
Oh, yeah. At this moment, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to find me on IG, you can go to @HolyCripJesus. That's @HolyCripJesus. They make it hard to find me, so type it in. You can hit me on Twitter, Crip Jesus Blue God. That's @CRIPJESUSBLUGOD. And everywhere else, you can just type in Crip Jesus. And if you don't feel like going through all that, just go to Google, Yahoo, or whatever, and type in Crip Jesus. I'm everywhere. Shamalama lama.
With that said, before we get to going with you, good Dr. Inky, could you hit that unmute button? There we go. Dr. Inky, how are you?
I'm alive. Yeah. That's always my response in a world of change, like our world. You can wake up a millionaire and go to sleep broke, or you can wake up broke and go to bed a millionaire. So all you want to do is just be in the game. As long as you're alive, you can win.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into this, I want to just take a moment to, just for the family's sake, if they were under a rock for the last century, could you tell the family where we can find you at?
Crumb TV.
That's right. I can't let him off the hook, family. It's right there on his title, AmericanHealer.website, not to be confused with .com, .this or .that, .net. It's .website. That's right, family. AmericanHealer.website. That's also his YouTube channel. Put some respect on his name. All right. So with that said, gentlemen, where do we start? Crip Jesus.
We go right to
Coming right in with the beginning of my name, Crip.
Yeah.
And I want to explain that. Like I told you in the first episode, that first time you brought me on here, this was never about glamorizing Crip or crime or none of that. This was about making sure people know that Allah is seen and heard in all worlds. So even in the Crip world, there was a purpose behind this. It wasn't about just hurting everybody and dressing up and being pretty. You know what I'm saying? We start off with, we're talking about the attack on Black masculinity. So my first example of Black masculinity from where I'm from, in the neighborhood I'm in, you know what I'm saying? The biggest homie, see, here's the funny thing about it. Raymond Washington created CRIP, but I didn't learn about Raymond Washington until like in jail way later, getting deep. Growing up, we knew about Tookie though. That was the big homie. That was if you take away books, because like how MOI would say, sometimes we get caught up in the big words and all the fancy hoopla and the degrees and all that stuff. But what are we talking about? We're talking about our community, uplifting our people. We're talking about raising men who are able to protect and progress the community. My first ideal of that, our first thing shown to us in Black masculinity was Big Tookie Williams. You feel me? And I could read it. It's a line I got from MOI itself where he said about the blue check before Instagram. So Big Tookie Williams, due to his size and strength, Tookie had a blue check in the streets long before Instagram.
Teach, Muhammad. Teach.
Yes. Now, right here, it says, what is the true definition of masculinity? And I wanted to put this out here because we have a lot of people that talk for 5 to 8 hours trying to define masculinity and talking about how the society has shaped this thing. And that's not what it is. This has nothing to do with even sexuality at this point. We're talking about masculinity plain and basic. Masculinity is the social expectations of being a man. The term masculinity refers to the roles, behaviors, and attributes that are considered appropriate for boys and men in a given society. Masculinity is constructed and defined socially, historically, and politically, rather than being biologically driven. So to say that, I'm not here to boast and brag or say this is what it is, because masculinity in my environment ended up being something that led to crime and destruction. This is just what it was. These were the things expected of the male role where I was from. This is an example. You know what I'm saying? Now, right here, let's get to the point. The attack on Black masculinity. This is a Black man, right? Why is masculinity being considered toxic? Toxic masculinity is a term that has been gaining traction in the past few years. This term refers to the dominant form of masculinity, wherein men use dominance, violence, and control to assert their power and superiority. Coming from the greenhillrecovery.com, toxic masculinity versus healthy masculinity. So what we have to ask ourselves is, what is the alternative here? If they're saying dominant masculinity is toxic, what are they really talking about? if the original man is the melanated black man in his form of masculinity dominance, they're calling this toxic masculinity, the original. Proof. Crumb, would you not say that's a masculine white man?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Look pretty masculine to me, right?
Yeah.
But that's not toxic. But the dark chocolate masculine is toxic for some reason. But the vanilla brand's not toxic. One afternoon in the mid 1970s, Stanley Tookie Williams, a keen bodybuilder and the co-founder of the Crips gang, a form of black masculinity, was walking along the broad walk at Venice Beach, Santa Monica, near Los Angeles. He passed the then Mr. Olympia, the champion, the king of white masculinity, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember, Mr. Olympia is a title, y'all. So he was really literally considered the king of white masculinity. And this man, being the leader of the Crips, was considered a king. I can't say the king, but a king of black masculinity. This is a literal thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was out for a stroll with a friend, said, "See that guy there?" Mr. Schwarzenegger said, pointing to Williams' bulging muscles. "Those aren't arms, they're legs." Ooh.
Ooh.
This is the white masculinity admiring the black masculinity.
Wait,
Hit him with the next one, guy. I'm about to show him where this is.
I'm sorry, brother. Before you, okay, never mind. Nope.
Oh, you know we was going there, Crumb.
Yeah, I should have known. I should have known.
You know you taught me well.
Do you mind if I
At
read this one?
12:01 a.m., December 13th. And I want y'all to know, without me reading it on there, because it doesn't say no year up there, the year was 2005. I was locked in juvenile hall, being charged with attempted murder.
Hold on, Crip. Crumb said he want to go. He want these bars.
Oh no! Please. I acquiesce. Please, brother.
No, I'm saying I was locked in juvenile hall, right? And just to show what I mean by masculinity, I was being charged with attempted murder, facing life sentences. I hadn't even shot no one, and everything in me wanted to become weak. You know, I'm gonna reveal something on this podcast that I didn't ever want to talk about, but just for anybody watching to understand. My own mother was so in fear of what they were doing to me by putting this case on me, and her knowing the deep me, the one that's sitting here reading books to y'all. She was scared for that little boy, and she said she had a dream I was gonna get raped in prison. Now my mom was getting high on drugs at the time. I told her, "How dare you talk to me like that?" Because I'm gonna protect my masculinity, and thank God I made it out without that happening. But her fears were justified. You feel what I'm saying? This is what was going on. This is what I'm trying to show y'all is she knew that them putting that case on me, that was the overall goal, to turn what she was trying to raise into a productive, strong man that could protect our family to a weak man, whether it be a man that fights and cuss all day and shoots his gun. That's a form of weakness as well, a lack of self-control. It's the dehumanize and demasculate us literally. Can you go back to that slide, brother, so I can show them what they did to my hero? At 12:01 a.m. on December 13, Williams was executed by lethal injection for the murders of 4 people allegedly during 2 robberies committed more than a quarter of a century ago. And I want y'all to know, if incarceration is all about rehabilitation, this brother was one of the most rehabilitated brothers in history. He had wrote a score of children books. He had politicians and all type of people vouching for him to get him out. The only person who had the power to spare him was Schwarzenegger. Should he choose to exercise his power of clemency, is the governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger, which he did not. He executed this brother. I was there in juvenile hall. We rioted because for all us boys that came from the slums, we never even met this man. This was like a deity to us. We just held on to this understanding that represented masculinity for us. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't become soft and weak just because times are getting hard. You feel me? I'm not justifying any crime and none of that. I'm telling you what it represented to us. You know, now you got to ask yourself, this toxic masculinity that they call dominance, to dominate in the conversation, to when we say women, we say the word masculine, but we're really talking about, you know, when a girl's trying to dominate what's going on in the situation, this dominance. Where did that come from? Like, if we listen to the philosophy people nowadays, did someone really just sit down and say, hey, this is what masculinity is? No. It goes back to the root. And for those that like to read, come with me to the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26.
Let me see if
And
I can read
God,
this one. Do you mind?
oh, yes, please.
And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish
Dominion.
of the
That's the
sea,
word. Dominion.
and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Yes. So the reason why I have excelled to such a high level of study and why I like the King James Version is I've learned the value of words. You can't use synonyms to get through this. This is like reading the hieroglyphics. This is actually a part of the hieroglyphics that were took out, the cartouches. But we're not going to get into that right now. The point is, every little word matters here. When we're talking about masculinity of the original man who was black, so the black masculinity, we're talking about that word right there, dominion, the dominance. And it's not just a characteristic. A dominion, to my understanding, is a territory, principality. Yes, something, a land you rule over.
King's
Hit that
dominion.
next slide, God.
You remember King's Dominion, Crip Jesus?
Mm.
It was actually,
I went there a few times. That was in
Yeah.
what was that? Virginia, Maryland,
Yep.
somewhere.
yeah, Virginia, where I'm from, King's Dominion.
Yep.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
Dominion.
And now we all know, we're not going to go too deep into it, but we know the original man was melanated, and we know that when he used to put the big symbol of his dominance in front of his dominions, it would be an obelisk, a symbol of his penis, a big, tall symbol of the black masculinity. What you're seeing right here is the physical removal of obelisk from dominions. This is a direct attack on black masculinity right here.
And you know what's crazy is if they just tore them down, I would agree, but they actually took them and put them in their spot. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
they moved the old
like
bliss.
we got the big ones now.
Yeah, boom, exactly. So you got them in Central Park, at the Vatican, and a few key spots where they done removed them from Kemet and put them. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that that next one, the black and white one. Okay, now this goes to show that this is what Francis Cress Wilson talks about. So we have many symbols, like the cigar, the limousine, but we can go on with that for hours and hours and hours. The obelisk was literally made to represent the original man, the original king called Negus, his manhood, the black masculinity. That right there is a statue of Osiris, Asar.
It was, I mean, for me, I didn't know, and of course, I'm sure somebody said it before her, but for me, it was Dr. Francis Cress Wilson who brought it to my attention that during the lynching era, you know, people just say, oh, it's just the lynching era, and it was more than the lynching era. That was also the castration era, because when they lynch you,
right, but here's the thing, they didn't throw them out, they cooked them and ate them. So
stop it.
Yeah, they was eating them. So there's books on it. Yeah, there's books on it. You know, they cooked them and ate them.
Cooked them and ate them. Woo!
Yeah.
So everything we're talking about right now is a direct attack on the black masculinity. This is not a metaphor, y'all. This is them literally taking. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, let me tap in with Crumb on this one, because you know I'm just Crip Jesus now. I'm a little bit in the streets. I got to tap in with the master. Hold on. Isn't that the whole concept of a eunuch?
I'm out of here.
Yeah, when they take over another nation, they take the losers, they castrate them, cut their penises, and they make them work under them. It's like servants, right?
Well,
they just call it that. It's a different word, but this is exactly what was going on in slavery out here.
Well, let me take it a step further, maybe, and I'll pass this to Crumb, to you, and even to the chat to add on or maybe add correction. But there are a lot of stories that are circulating that George Washington Carver was castrated, and his voice was really high because of that, because they had him in such close proximity to the families that, quote unquote, he worked for. But yeah, I believe George Washington Carver was also, he might have been castrated or had his testicles cut off or something to that extent. I could be wrong. So I'll let the chat or whoever correct me, but I believe that there are there's some information floating around that George Washington Carver might have had his program removed as well.
Whoa. So this is not no metaphor, y'all. This is real. Now we're gonna take it to the next level. Go ahead, guy. Before his death, now this is a very famous Muslim general, Saladin. So before his death, Saladin had divided his, I want y'all to stay focused, y'all, because we'll never lose focus here, dominions. We're still talking about the original masculinity. Before his death, Saladin had his dominions divided amongst his kin. His descendant Al-Afdal received Palestine and Syria. Al-Aziz was made ruler of Egypt. What does this have to do anything, y'all? Well, when he was made ruler of Egypt, he wanted to establish his dominion because he wasn't a native. So he had an attempted demolition. In AD 1196, Al-Aziz Uthman, Saladin's son, and the Sultan of Egypt attempted to demolish the pyramids. Talking about some old bliss, he went a step further. It's the same thing as Napoleon shooting the nose off the Sphinx, y'all. It's deep. So let's go back to this dominion thing. We going that scientific today, Crumb. Are we still on dominion? Because we need to explain to these people who come and say, no, that's not the white man made that up. You need to wake up. That's not masculinity. It's what he made. No. This is a real energy. The original man was given dominion over animals. Whoa. When you see a nigga out there playing with a lion or a pit bull, that's masculine as hell, yeah. The original man. Not the original man y'all got now. That's the non-toxic original man. That's the non-toxic original man. Tarzan version. Adam. Yeah. That's the non-toxic. That's a little bit of Crumb TV humor for y'all. This is the original man, how we do it. King Minos. Even our mythical, his historical legendary heroes had something to do with having dominance over animals. Having a pet and being able to train and dominate over animal is a natural right of ours that we used to be trained to do to pass down our dominance to each other. You feel me saying? King Minos is considered by the European the evil king. That's because he was dominant, who lived on an island called Crete. Now, the Cretans actually ruled over the so-called Macedonian Greek people and all that. The ones that we see now, the freaks, they were ruled by these. These are the Mycenaeans and the Minoans. Y'all look that up. They're all Phoenicians. Look that up. Canaanites, all that. He had a pet called a Minotaur. In the story of a Minotaur, he's half bull, half man, kind of like Baphomet. Sometimes the top's the bull, sometimes the bottom's the bull. It doesn't really matter because the point is the man dominating over it. This is the origin of like bullfighting. You feel me? A Minotaur is half man, half bull. The Minotaur was a scary pet, so King Minos hid him in a maze called a labyrinth. All right. I thought I was going to come with one example. Nah, man. The original man. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to elaborate on that story because I did a video, seems like forever ago, with a sister called, I think it was Astrology Decoded. And when we're dealing with astrology, we just say, this is Western astrology, not Vedic or the other one, but Western. So in Western astrology, when you're dealing with the Taurus, this is going from the story of Europa. There was a little girl named Europa, and she was playing on the beach, and this white bull, Zeus saw her. And remember, Zeus would always go down in different forms and do different things. When Zeus had got with the water bearer, he came down as an eagle. When Zeus got with Europa, he came down as a white bull. Follow me, Taurus. So now he because he's lusting after this girl. She's like 12. The story with God and Mary, Mary's 12. The story with Zeus and Europa, Europa's 12. This is Europe, that girl. So he goes to this girl, and he gets the girl to attract her, to attract to him, because he's a beautiful bull. So he woos her. She comes, gets on his back. He goes into the ocean, swims away. This is kidnap, and by all means, goes to the island, and he amalgamation. I don't know what we're gonna call that. Consummate. I don't know what you call it, but he graped her. And I think somebody said the word earlier. Let's try not to say that word. It triggers the algorithm. Let's say grape. He graped her, and the child Europa. This is the girl who Europe is named after mythologically, according to them. The child that she gave birth to was the Minotaur. I yield the floor.
I like the way you explain that, because that goes to show how a myth can have so much to do with the reality just summarized. Because see how the Cretes were the ones that ruled Europe. So it would make sense that Minos, Minotaur's son, would be the daughter of Europa, because it was ruled by King Minos at first, the Minoans.
Teach.
And for all y'all listening, this really goes into what we're about to show about the mythology and how it's going to show our dominance over the animal and their kidnapping of it. So right here we have King Theseus, who kills the Minotaur, right? This is him dominating over an animal. We have Queen Califia, who dominates over the mythical griffin. You feel what I'm saying? Then we also have right here where it says heroes, right? Now, we all know, well, for those of us that get into etymology, hero comes from the word Heru, which is another ruler deity based on the eagle or the hawk? You feel what I'm saying? But it's mixed with the animal and showing dominion over the animal. And at times, over time, sometimes the animal that the ruler or the tribe is associated with can also become associated with them, to where they start saying, oh, it was the snake people or the bird people or the griffin people. You understand what I'm saying? So here we go. Right there it says mythology is just as real as religion. On Genesis 1:26, where it's talking about dominion, it also says dominion over every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. Right here we have the Snake Indians, a collective name given to Northern Porte, Bannock, and Shoshone Native American Indian tribes, and also others I'm about to show. But these are people who dominated over serpents. And mind y'all, you can't dominate over a serpent by beating it up. You gotta be into energy, vibration, and snake charming and soothing. But these are people who dominated serpents, and in their stories, they became affiliated with serpents. So did. Show them down south ones, God. Original snake tribes. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Yeah, so we don't make none of this up, man. This is dominance that we're talking about. We're not talking about a guy beating up somebody. We're not talking about making fun of people. We're talking about real science here and the attack on this. This is what they want to attack. You know what I mean? Just so y'all can soak that in, the original snake tribe, we get y'all a little piece of the blue god. Hit that for him, Jesus. Oh, shit. It's coming in. But look, let's get back to it, though. That's my song, Big Slime. Y'all check that out. The point is, in the song, I talk about the Naga tribe and the Nagash tribe, and how when you hear about the serpent in the Bible, the one that made Eve eat the apple, you know what they really talking about. Uh-oh. Can they hear me, man? So just let y'all know we don't make none of this stuff up. We're not here to quote stuff and impress y'all. We're not here just to talk your ear off. We're here to give you something you can take home and understand. Getting in tune with nature is the highest form of dominance. You understand what I'm saying? Being able to control the elements that the Most High, the original source of all life, put here is true dominance. Dominating your car or your computer or your Instagram page, that's cool. But here goes the attack on Black masculinity for that. For those that don't understand, that think slavery never happened or you're confused, let me get it done for you. Human trafficking is done off of the books. This is not something you're going to Google. This is not something you're just going to read out of nowhere. It's something you got to know about. This was called work. Supposedly they were going to work. You feel what I'm saying? So this was one of their jobs, y'all. And this was not no 1700, 1600. This was in the 1900s, y'all. This was one of the jobs, the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Hold on, man. You know damn well this wasn't no damn job.
I'm saying, quote unquote. This is one of the jobs that people would say that they were working. They were not called human tools. They were called, because the people being traded were property. Half of this stuff wasn't written down. They were considered like a couch or a table. Yeah,
that's definitely called slavery. Yeah, that's called slavery. Yeah.
Oh yeah, break this down for him, guy.
Well, these books right here are the books that okay, so in today's world, there's no record, obviously, of human trafficking because it's a nasty thing. You know, it's a nasty thing. It's a horrendous crime. It's despicable. Every bad adjective that you can summon would fit. But in yesterday's world, it was not only common practice, it was the #1 international business. And before, what many people don't know of, before the prisoners of war thing or what we call slavery or that whole, you know, the last 400 years and, you know, 1492 and 1600 and East India Dutch exchange, before any of that was going on, they were already trafficking in North Africans, and it started with the mummies. And that was a major form of what they considered to be medicine. So all throughout Europe, they ate the remains of Black people as medicine. And when you walk through the cities and their shops, their apothecaries and all of their little herb and medicine places and doctors, they literally had skulls and everything that you could see hanging in the windows that when you came in, your problem, they would tell you what you needed to eat. And they were all different parts of remains from Black folks or North Africans that they were grabbing. And it was a lot of the quote unquote, the pale Arabs that were trafficking the darker Arabs to the Europeans. And these people were all actually on the books because they were a taxable commodity that they kept traffic of import and export wise. So when you read this book here, Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires, it documents it as a part of the history and evolution of Western medicine. The Delectable Negro, the Delectable Negro is a much more up-to-date book on what they were doing with some of the quote-unquote prisoners of war or slaves in like the 1700s, 1800s. Just like Nat Turner, he wound up as a as what they call medicinal grease to be consumed.
They turned him into a grease.
Yeah, medicinal, so that you could consume it, you know, as an oil. Yeah.
Because you went to his next slide, I want to introduce it. But no, it's perfect. Go on. So the point is, what he's talking about with the mummies and the cannibalism, this goes back all the way to the Colosseum when they would do this stuff in front of crowds of people. They would have like circus, because even if I'm not mistaken, isn't the word circus goes back to in Rome on the top of the hill where they used to throw those orgies and all that. So no, for real. So these are like big spectacles of like embarrassing or over dominating and stripping the dominance and the dominion of other people, other groups of people. So here you go, here.
The movie Caligula. Yep. No, I was just saying the movie Caligula kind of documents what you're talking about in terms of those orgies and all of the wild sex with animals and all that kind of stuff. It's an old school movie called Caligula. They didn't go too crazy, but they kind of document a lot of what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, for what we talking about, when the boats were coming illegally off the books and dropping people off, and they were having them bombarded in them places all butt naked running around. That's a movie called Goodbye Uncle Tom. Y'all should go check that out. Yeah, Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
I'm familiar. That's a
oh yeah. You know, Detroit. This is a black girl in a human zoo. But like I told y'all, they didn't call them human zoos. So this is why you're not going to read about the human zoo. It's going to be written as a circus, a carnivore, or a zoo. And you're going to just think, oh, it's nothing. Somebody was working there. No, hell no. This is a human zoo in Brussels, Belgium in 1958.
I would definitely consider this little girl that's caged as a zoo exhibit to be a slave. I don't think that she would consider herself as an employee.
Look at the Indians right there with the dudes that's finna do experiments on them and eat them with the elephant. Like, they're for sure look hungry. You know what I'm saying? This is Otabinga. Crumb, could you hit him with that perfect voice? Blow it up for him a little bit, man.
Otabinga, March 20th, 1990, born in the century 1883, died March 20th, 1916, was a Mbuti Congo pygmy man known for being featured in an exhibit at the 1904 Louisiana Purchase Exposition in St. Louis, Missouri, and as a human zoo exhibit in 1906 at the Bronx Zoo. Binga had been purchased from local African slave traders by the explorer Samuel Phillips Somebody, a businessman searching for African people for exhibition, who took him to the United States. While at the Bronx Zoo, Binga was allowed to walk the grounds before and after he was exhibited in the zoo's monkey house.
So this goes. Just so y'all don't get lost in the sauce of what we talk about. Remember, we were just showing dominion and where it comes from and how these are direct attacks. So this is an attack on our dominion over nature and the animals and all that. They would go into the wild, kidnap these people, and turn them into zoos to show their dominion by putting you in a cage. It's not true dominion if I have to use the violence and force you. Dominion is when you see that dude walking through the rainforest and through the jungle, and he just, the real Tarzan. You feel me? If I got to bring a gun and throw you in a cage and shut up and beat you, this is what they call, that's toxic masculinity. That's toxic dominance. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. So they took people like this. Oh, have y'all heard about her? Oh, no, hit them with it. All y'all twerkers out there, y'all think y'all having fun? This is something y'all invented? No, this is where it coming from. They used to go and get the big booty tribes and take them and put them in the zoo. And tell them, shake that booty. Shake that booty. That's right. The first strip clubs. What was her name, though? So people could look it up. I think her name was Venus Hottentot.
The Hottentot Venus, a.k.a. Sarah or Sajay Bartman. Yep.
Oh, Sarah Bartman. I saw somebody in the comments talk about that. It's spelled Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, Bartman with 2 A's. They're going to make it so y'all can't find it on the internet, y'all. We got it for y'all. B-A-A-R-T-M-A-N. Yeah, look that up and show it. 2 A's, though, brother. Show your kids that, man. So they think it's called the Freak Show. Hold on, let me keep it for y'all. She was in 19th century Europe at a freak show attraction called the Hottentot Venus, a name which was later attributed to at least one other woman similarly exhibited. So they had a part 2 Venus Hottentot. They had 2 Hottentots, both with big old exteriors. So the Megan Thee Stallion, ain't nothing new under the sun, y'all. Oh, they got the booty shots now. They do this and that. They've been finding the big booty.
They need booty shots. They need the booty shots. But hold on, let me add this to that. After they discovered these women in Africa, they then had, because they didn't have booty shots back in Europe. So in order to simulate that, what they did was they had the seamstresses and the tailors create these dresses that had like you can't see me on the screen, but they had like a big thing in the back where it looked like a huge butt and it was a part of the dress, but it really wasn't. It was just the way the dress was constructed to make it seem like there was a butt back there, because it was considered to be royal to have a body like that and be able to produce, So that's called a Victorian dress. That was from the Victorian era.
There you go.
this
Because
is this
if I'm
is
not
also,
mistaken,
you know,
in the
because that was,
Victorian area. No, go ahead.
and this is what some would allude to as Victoria's Secret. A lot of that stuff, you know, people didn't. I assume they didn't know, but obviously they did. You know, it was fake. It's like the weave. I remember when I was young, I thought it was real. Like you see these pictures of these white girls with big butts. That's the secret. It's not. That's a dress. But yeah, please.
Hold on, no, make me big on the screen. No, make me big on the screen. No, make me big on the screen. No. Make me big on the screen. No, make me big on the screen. I did not know what Victoria's Secret was. Nigga. I've been trying to figure out that secret for a long time. Okay. Nigga got all the degrees and taught the whole country. Did not know what Victoria's Secret was. I was wondering what her secret was. I thought it was Medusa or something. I didn't know what the fuck is. Lord have mercy. I love doing this with Crumb, y'all. We learn so much.
Right. Oh man.
Let's keep going. Please. Victoria's Secret. Booyah! The secret is the booty shots now, y'all.
Right, the booty shots.
So we're back to a direct attack. But we're about to bring it up to speed for y'all. Because I know y'all probably saw the cover and thought we was going to be here bashing people. And, you know, this is a very scientific thing, y'all. We're not here to crack a bunch of jokes and just go home saying, yeah. No, we're here to learn. We're here to give our children something they can eat, something they can live with. So we're going to show y'all what's going on in these TV shows, what's going on in these cartoons. Why would they take something that's not new under the sun? Homosexuality, all these different sexualities. It's been a lot of stuff going on for a long time. What is this new marketing campaign? What is this new thing going on? Well, it starts here as far as my investigations. Crumb, would you like to do this one?
Thomas A. Foster, DePaul University. In 1787, an enslaved man in Maryland raped a free black woman. The story comes to us from a female victim in the incident, Elizabeth Amwood. One white man, William Holland, had her pull up her clothes, and tie down. He then lie down. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. Let me cut your wisdom for 1 second, Crumb. Let me cut your wisdom for 1 second. Because this slide actually highlights the broken English and the Ebonics that originated with the early Europeans that came here. So in this article right here, it's written as the person that spoke, is talking. So that it shows that the Ebonics didn't start with us. The Ebonics actually started with them. So he's actually saying pull up her clothes and lie down. But that's the broken English that they have. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
No, that's amazing. Pull up her clothes and lie down. He then called a Negro manslave and ordered him to pull down his breeches and get upon thee, said Amwood, and to be great with her. The fourth individual in this horrific scene, a white man named John Pettigrew, operated with Holland, pointed a pistol at the unnamed enslaved man and Elizabeth Amwood. All the while, Holland taunted them both, asking if it was in and if it was sweet. Afterward, William went up into the company and called for water to wash his hand, saying he had been putting a mare to a horse.
So the point I'm showing here is this is not just about, I know a lot of people look on TV, they see the guy, they see the man, but this is an attack on the whole black family. This is a way of taking the masculinity, which is sexual, because you have femininity, you have masculinity. This is a way of taking the core of our energy, the core of our identity, and owning it, using it, weaponizing it to use against each other. And that's what a real attack on black masculinity is. That's what we're about to get into right here. This is an example of it. That's a direct attack.
let me just, before we leave this slide, I want you guys to look up into the upper left-hand corner so that you could see this was published by the University of Texas. So, you know, and there's always two ways or more than one way of viewing something. So when we look at it and we view it as detestable, gross, whatever, somebody else is going to read this same article and feel pride that their ancestors dominated over your ancestors in such a way. So, you know, as you're looking at it from one direction, realize that there's somebody else could be looking at this from another direction and take a note to who printed it, where it's printed, and if it's printed at the university, it's taught in the university. So just got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's deep.
William Dorsey Swan.
Wait, go to that next one first, guy. I got to show the next one first. I know I should ride with you, but I just want to. I gotta set this one up. That next one right after it. I gotta set.
So where you want me to put this?
Just go to that next one. Put it right after it.
Okay. Boop.
Yeah. Here we go, y'all. Because I want to show y'all something. The other one said 1787, I believe.
Yeah.
So this is 1887. You see? No, go back, huh? The other one says 1787. Going back to the picture.
1787. Yep.
So this is 1887, right? That's 2017. What's up with the Am I tripping or something? Am I high or something? Like, this is exactly. Why is he wearing the same exact dress?
Well, guess what? I actually have the answer for that because I spoke to his father. Me and Young.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Me and
I remember that.
Father. Yeah, you know what?
It says indirect attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it over to the Crumb Network because I think that conversation with me and Young Thug Father is important. People need to hear that conversation. You know,
that's that paid memberships type shit right there. That's that exclusive high.
No, we got to get the people on that. We got to let the people hear this thing because it's.
But the point, look, I want to say something to y'all before we lose. The reason this says indirect attack is because now they don't walk up to your front door and say, "Get out here, boy! Give me that booty." Now because this is why though. Don't think so much has changed so much, y'all. They didn't have color TV back then, y'all. They didn't have computers in everybody's hand back then, y'all. They had to work overtime. They had to kick your door down. Now they kick your door down through the phone. Now they got William Dorsey Swan. They got Young Thug imitating them to the rap song. They don't got to kick the door down. They'll turn a gangbanger gangster rapper into whatever they want through mental programming. Now, I know what y'all thinking right now, that I'm bashing William Dorsey, thinking, oh, no, I'm about to show y'all something that Crumb put us on. I don't know if we got down to that video slide yet with Crumb.
Well, hold on. Let me just say this.
Show y'all a cold trick that Crumb for the read y'all.
His father approved of it. They gave him a check for it. You know what I'm saying? So him and his dad, you know, they kind of agreed on him wearing the dresses and all that because he got a check for it.
Are you wow.
Yeah.
Lil Richard said for his first acts he was getting paid for. How he got turned out. Y'all can read that. We're gonna go to that, but y'all just go read that. When Lil Richard said when he was young and he got turned out, he was getting paid to get turned out. They would come over there, find the young little boys, and pay them to participate.
Wow. You know, that's the same thing. That's the same thing Dr. York was doing. He was giving them food and shelter down. Well, anyway, let's go to William Dorsey. Go ahead.
William Dorsey Swan was an American LGBT activist in a time where leadership in the movement was uncommon.
Can you pause, please? Crumb, I'm glad I got you here. A person who's done so much extensive research. Would you agree LGBTQ didn't exist in 1880?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. Yes.
So this is them trying to mess our brain up again. So for everybody in the movement, we're not against y'all. We're showing the infiltration here.
Ooh.
We're not mad. We're not here to bash. No. See, we're talking about the real attack on black masculinity. We're talking about it. No, go back. You want me to finish reading it? It's some more information.
Yeah. An African American born into slavery, Swan
Into slavery. How was he the leader of the LGBTQ community?
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, touche.
He wasn't the leader of anything.
Right. Swan was the first person in the United States to lead a queer resistance group and the first known person to self-identify as a queen of drag.
Let's crack this code, y'all. I got the slides to crack it for y'all. I know it sounds good right now. It sounds like the best. This sound like the Martin Luther King on steroids. This is civil rights on top of civil rights. Nah.
Man, wait a minute. This is Martin Luther King on steroids.
Next slide. Slavery disguised as LGBTQ. Can you close up? I want to read a little bit of that article. A drag party.
Let me try to make it through there because it's a little blurry for you.
No, last night, attired in handsome silks and satins, each in complete feminine costume, they indulged in a drag in a quiet-looking house on the south side of F Street near 12th. The party was raided by Lieutenant Amix and the officers of the 1st Precinct. Nearly all of the girls succeeded in procuring bail. So they had owners, y'all. These were slaves that had owners that came and bailed them out. Just go to the next thing. I ain't got time to read that little stuff. We about to bust it open for y'all. We got 170 people in here. We ain't playing. Come on. That next one. This is how they disguise slavery as LGBTQ. Go ahead, Scrum. I'm going to explain it after you're done.
During the 1880s and 90s, Swan organized a series of drag balls, in Washington, D.C. He called himself the Queen of Drag. Most of the attendees of Swan's gathering were men who were formerly enslaved, who gathered to dance in their satin and silk dresses. This group, consisting of former slaves and rebel drag queens, was known as the House of Swan. Because these events were secretive, invitations were often quietly made at places like the YMCA. Swan participated in dances such as the Cakewalk, a dance performed by enslaved people.
You just revealed everything by singing it that way. We're talking about the music.
Wait a minute.
We're talking about the
God dang it. I'm about to get off the live.
Hold on. I believe that between the two of y'all just revealed the origin of the chakras and the Dragon Balls. I believe this is right here.
Stop it.
Wait, hold on, y'all. Wait, stop. Hold on. We can't. Look, the point is here. We know that they were not organizing these drag balls. Their masters were. Those were the same people that would build them out.
Hey, that's the same thing that Young Thug father said about the dress. They came and approached Young Thug with the dress and the check.
That came from the higher ups.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So listen,
that wasn't his idea. They came with the money. They came with the outfit and the check. They came with the money. Like, hey, you put this on, we pay you this. Yeah.
Now you see, it says they recruited them from the YMCA. That's why I say you revealed the whole thing. They set up children's centers in our community, y'all. That's right. Schools, churches, they make them look innocent. They set up these community centers in our community. They recruit the boys through there. I can show you they do it in LA. They got community LGBT community centers for kids in Hollywood. And I done seen white boys driving up in their limos and shit at nighttime, grabbing them straight up out of there. So the YMCA is the cover up where you recruit them. Going back, we ain't done. Going back. This is the biggest part. When you see them, you're gonna think they're happy and they're dancing, man. What are you talking about, Crip Jesus? Why are you hating trying to make a narrative? Nope. The dance is called the Cakewalk because the slave master or whoever was treating them, even if it was a black guy that was training them, he used a piece of cake in their hunger to make them keep dancing, to get a bite of the cake.
Stop it.
This is slavery, bro. They used to rename it. Just like the human zoo. They call them zoos. They wouldn't call them human zoos. So they just took, this is the thing, bro. I'm with y'all with the backwards teaching. But what I see is slavery now. I'm not going to deny what's going on now. Millions of brothers locked in cells, dudes walking down the street scared to even speak. No, you're scared to call yourself a nigga, the word that means king from your own tribe. This is slavery right now. These dates we're saying, 1958, 1906, this ain't no 1755. This ain't no 1602. Y'all can keep that shit. No disrespect to nobody that reads and studies, but we talking about right now, homie.
It's more black men in prison in America today than there is anywhere else on earth and any other time in history.
Woo!
And it literally says slavery has been abolished except for the convicted felon. So that means that slavery has never, ever, ever stopped. It just was switched up. It just was changed up. So now you can't just grab somebody. Woo, woo. You almost got to kind of get them to volunteer into it by committing certain crimes. And then bam, as you become, now you labeled as a felon, you're a slave. So they can grab you and put you to work. So again, this is what I'm saying. You people that think that y'all are doing something by investing in livestock and bondage, aka the stock market.
Stocks and bonds.
That's it. That's the origin of it. Livestock and bondage. You don't know that when you're getting that cheap discount furniture from IKEA and all these other places that it was all made with slave labor, and you are funding your own enslavement.
Just like the cakewalk. You're walking to get some cake, you thinking, but you're really doing the dance for him. And I want y'all to know in that video, I didn't want to show the video because we don't want to get no copyright. We're going all the way up to the top with this, y'all. But that's a brother dancing with him. So it looks like two black brothers having fun. A young thug and Birdman. But no, Birdman's holding the cake. Birdman's holding the cake for Universal Records. And Young Thug is chasing the cake.
Teach.
That's right. Get to that next slide, man. We cracking too many codes. We got 200 people in here. Can we stop for a moment? We got 200 people in here because we're not playing. Right here is Little Richard. So I'm showing y'all the entertainment business. They would organize the drag balls. If the police come, let them get arrested. Bail them out.
I'm sorry, I can't get off of the drag balls.
Yeah.
They would organize all these things. Right?
Oh my God.
Question.
So look.
Is Little Richard considered the king of rock and roll? Answer. According to mystyle.com, with a article titled Little Richard, the King of Rock and Roll Who Changed Pop Culture Forever, it reads, Richard, who passed on the 9th of May at the age of 87, was and remains the true king of rock and roll. Shall I continue?
Oh yeah, please do. Because let me insert here though, because I know people may be listening like, what does that have to do anything? Little Richard is an example of these type of boys like William Dorsey Swan. Raised up in the ghetto community, given money at a young age to perform homosexual acts, and then planted right into something to compete with something else. Chuck Berry is the actual king of rock and roll, not because of my opinion, not because I like his music. This dude penned the music for every single group that was called rock and roll. He started it. He was there before it was even called rock and roll. He was there with Little Richard. They literally took Little Richard, let him make 2 albums, and inserted him as the king of rock and roll. Same thing they did with Elvis Presley, the pedophile. They took both people that they had sexual control over and put them as the heads, because it's not about sexuality. It's about putting someone submissive enough for them to control, whichever way. They may have you doing overly sexual stuff like Blueface. They got him doing like get hit with the bottle in the head by your girlfriends, whatever message they're trying to send to attack the black masculinity. This was an attack on Chuck Berry. Keep reading, please.
Okay. Between 1955.
No. Go back, brother.
Between 1955 and 58, he released a string of singles and 2 albums. Here's Little Richard and here's Little Richard and Little Richard. That changed pop music and youth culture forever.
How did it change it? Do you know how it changed it forever? Because he's the first of his kind. He's the first one to come up, ooh, makeup and ooh, having sex with you, baby. Ooh, baby. That's Little Richard started that. You feel what I'm saying? Right there on the bottom is Stevie Wonder quoted saying, "There's only one true king of rock and roll. His name is Chuck Berry." This is not my opinion. Next slide, please. Who was the first king of rock and roll?
Question. Who was the first king of rock and roll? Answer. Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry, the original king of rock and roll, is the first ever feature-length documentary devoted to the life of singer, songwriter, guitarist, widely considered the granddaddy of rock and roll, 1927, 2017, known for his hits like Maybelline, Rock and Roll Music, Johnny B. Good, and many others.
The true king. The point of the other one, I'm trying to show y'all what's going on.
He almost lived to be 100. Woo!
Oh yeah, where's Bond? And I'm showing y'all what's going on.
He did.
The attack on black masculinity, it usually comes from within. So they'll take plants and use them to directly, boom. It probably was somebody there with them chopping down their bliss. Like, yeah, we don't like these niggas. You feel what I'm saying? This shows the infiltration. I'll break this down, ain't too many words. This is an album they made for him, King of Rock and Roll. They literally inserted him into the industry. We're gonna make you the king of rock and roll. It wasn't about Chuck Berry and all these other people. What was the other one? Jackie Wilson. It was all type of other people. But these are plants. Just like Elvis was another plant they put. They put him there, give him the mansion, have him steal everybody's dances. You're the king of rock and roll. I'm showing that they actually have disguised slavery in certain fields and institutions. You see it in clear as day.
Question. When did drag queen start? Answer. According to masterclass.com with an article titled, "What is Drag? A Primer on Drag Queens in Popular Culture 2023. It reads, drag performers were featured as far back as ancient Greece and carried on through Shakespearean times. In the 19th century, female impersonators began to use the medium as a performative art, especially in vaudeville shows. In the 1880s, the first drag queen, William Dorsey Swann, hosted drag balls at his home.
So this goes to show the drag been going on. They've been doing this. They've been had these people all through Europe. Why is he the first drag queen? Why is he the one? Because this goes to what I'm talking about. This is when TV comes. This is when the CIA comes. This is when they say, we're going to make an agenda of this thing here. This is when LGBT was being created. This is when the whole infiltration was being created. Hey, Inky, you got that video? You got that video? Oh, yeah. Show him, man.
Oh, my God.
Show him, man.
Period. LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter. Period. Period. If you trying to beat them up, because of that, you homophobic. That's right. Beat your ass. That's right. Black Lives Matter. Period. Period. All Black Lives Matter. Period. Period. LGBTQ, Black Lives Matter. Period. Period. If you trying to beat them up, because of that, you homophobic. That's right. Beat your ass. That's right. You trying to kill them, you homophobic. That's right. If you a man and you don't want to kiss another man, you insecure and homophobic. That's If you a man and you don't want to have sex with a trans woman, you homophobic. For real? For real, nigga. If you don't want to let your son wear a dress, you against the future, nigga. I ain't trying to be against the future, but we gotta teach gay sex in school, nigga. Oh shit. There's more than 2 genders, nigga. Okay. There's 100, nigga. 100? No, 1,000, nigga. 1,000? Yes, now put these booty shorts on and dance in the streets, nigga. For what? Nigga, like, say Caitlyn Jenner's the most beautiful woman ever, nigga. That bitch ugly, though. Say it, nigga. Caitlyn Jenner's the most beautiful. Nigga. Louder, nigga. Caitlyn Jenner's the most. It's all or nothing, nigga. So the winner so against us, nigga.
This goes to show the mind game they play, the bullying they do.
Oh shit! Man, we gotta let the mic breathe for a minute after that. Man. The mic gotta breathe for a second after that.
was
You know, we're crazy.
Shout out my sis. that was hilarious. Oh man.
Oh man. So this goes to show the game they play, y'all. Now this goes to show how much this doesn't really have to do with straight and gay. This is where they're gonna trick you. They're gonna have you arguing all day with your gay cousin and your friend. This ain't got nothing to do with that. Martin is not looked at in our community as a gay man. He's not even looked at as a down low man. He's considered a heterosexual black hero down there. But he was the one paid, just like William Dorsey Swan, to put together this new agenda called the ghetto black woman, the direct attack on black femininity, the other half of black masculinity. Yeah, y'all. You can't have one without the other. This is an attack on the black family, man, woman, and child. Right? You can't kill the black boy without killing the black mother. They went for Mary when they was trying to get rid of Jesus. You feel me? So check this out. This is Martin, y'all, the same dude who played in the last. No, go back. No, you better go. Oh, y'all don't. We got him this time, baby. We got him, Inky. We got him, Inky. You see that sister right there? The pretty little light-skinned Gina? Why do they have Pam or anybody else or Tommy? Why is it Martin, Gina, and Shanae, the gay character he plays every now and then? Why is that on the box cover as the co-star of the whole show? Who is Shanae? Well, actually, Shanae sounds kind of, it's a playoff of Swahili. So if I'm not mistaken, Crumb, around about like the 60s and 70s, when a lot of the black conscious movement was real popular, a lot of people started giving their kids like Swahili type names, Jamal, Malik, Aaliyah, Shanae, these type of things, right? And Shanae is a playoff that. But just like Medusa, you see the Medusa, that comes from the Latin mediosa, my goddess. Because the original goddess is the original woman who had dominion as well over other energies, love, passion, the power of attraction, how she moves her body and her booty. Well, what he was hired to do was to tear that apart, to make fun of her. Oh my goodness, I'm Shanae. It's the same thing they did with Medusa, all over again. Ain't nothing new under the sun. That was before they had TV and all that. They used to make statues of our women with snakes in their hair and la 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 la.
Could I mention another one as well? Does anybody remember when there was supposed to be a movie that came out and it never came out? Yeah, real quick, just want to at Crumb TV, Flip Wilson was one of the first black men to dress in drag. Yeah, we got to mention him. I don't know if he's in his PowerPoint or not because CRIP Jesus is 5 million, but yeah, absolutely. But nonetheless, does anybody remember when Shanae went? When Martin and Jamie Foxx were supposed to do a movie? It was like Shanae versus Laquita or something. Do you remember that, CRIP Jesus?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Shanae and Wanda.
Wanda. Okay, I think that's it.
So no, look, I'm gonna get there. See, Shanae is 1992, just like Wanda, but hers was right. We're about to get to it right now because I'm like MOI say times and dates. I got the times and dates stamped. They was the same year, but Shanae was second. Forever Shanae is the episode that this character premiered on October 1st, 1992. Now I want to show y'all something. This is not a real character, y'all. So we have to go to the mind of the writer. Stop arguing with your friend and let's get to the point. Who sat down and wrote this up? And what were they thinking? Who were they trying to create? Because at this point in time, a lot of stuff that's normal now wasn't normal yet. Mass incarceration wasn't normal. A lot of these things weren't normal. They were actually creating the character. The little city girls, the Megan Thee Stallions and all that we got now, they were creating them in 92. See what he wrote for Shanae Jenkins. Why is her last name Jenkins? And why? Let's read this shit.
Question: where is Shanae from? Answer: according to martintv.fandom.com, a wiki, it says Shanae was born in Detroit and raised by her grandmother Cheryl Jenkins, while her mother Shannon Lee Jenkins was in jail. Her mother went to jail when Shanae was just 2 years old. Shanae's father is unknown.
So I just seen in the crowd. I'm gonna look it up too. They talking about because I know like Ashanti, Ashane, and all that. So he's saying Shanae is an ancient tribe, but look how they describe these people who they know who they are because they named them that way. Oh, you're going to be motherless. Your mother went to jail. Your father, we never knew him. You're raised by your grandma. Your middle name is Lee. Your last name is Jenkins. They're even dropping a nug by making a middle name Lee. But we ain't gonna get into all that right now. Like, this is ancient Washington type stuff and all that. Like they know who they're making fun of. If you ever notice when they do their characters, Laquita, Katisha, they got long names. They always fit the Creole description. They got 4-5 names. They come from the Middle East. I mean the Midwest and all that. Yeah.
Let me just tap into that Shanae Wanda thing just for a hot second. Do you mind?
Go ahead. We building.
Okay. Check this out, family.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We got a robbery, people. I'm sorry, but I just couldn't wait on the stimulus package. Surprise! Hey, for real though, let's get this real dough.
Shanae. Wanda.
So it was supposed to, now obviously the movie never came out, but instead of being bank robbers, it was called skank robbers. But yeah, please continue, brother. I'm sorry.
No, exactly. You know what's crazy? They plotted out to do that already from the beginning. This was not like some new highlight. I don't care what interview he goes on and says that. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Go to the next slide, man. We done playing with him, man. Let's get to it, man. Yep. You see it before I even read it. Y'all see it? Even his name wasn't a mistake. Y'all thought he made it. Y'all thought he was in the dressing room and saying, Wanda, my auntie, I'm gonna imitate her. We just imitating people we know. No, it's all plot and scheme. Princess Wanda is one of the most popular Slavic female deities, you know, or figures, whatever you want to call it, of the Slavic people.
Of the slave people.
Yeah, the original slave people.
Interesting.
See how they switched the whole identity?
Yeah.
See, they reversed the whole history. Now they're the ruler, we're the slave. Now the man's the woman. Now he's Wayne Wanda or Wanda Wayne. I don't know why I put Wayne Wanda. It's Wanda Wayne. Princess Wanda, though.
Right.
Go to the next slide, man. We about to reveal the whole truth. That's right. You see it? Y'all see it? Take a second to break that in. Can I get a bomb or something? This is an attack on black.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. I got
2000 BC, they did this already with the advertisement of Medusa. I'm not gonna say they did it in 2000 BC because they was illiterate back then, but I'm saying the advertisement Medusa, over 4,000-year-old idol, is the same thing they came with Jamie Foxx. The only difference is they got TVs now. They're not gonna put Medusa up there. They're gonna put Jamie Foxx up there as Wanda Wayne, 1992 AD. This is a direct attack on black femininity. And I'm glad we got 215 people in here. I hope we got a lot of women in here. Y'all see this? Crip Jesus working for y'all. Don't accept this, y'all.
Rabbit got the gun, you heard?
Yes. Snakes are locks. Yes, that's what they're making fun of. So, can I prove that? Go ahead.
Question. Who plays Wanda in Living Color? Answer. Jamie Foxx. Wanda, Jamie Foxx, portrays Wanda Wayne, the ugliest woman in the world. So ugly, in fact, that no one wanted to be in the same room as her. In one episode called Dracula Exposed, in one episode, Dracula exposed himself to sunlight to get away from her.
So he's not talking about effeminizing the black man. I know a lot of black men, this is the attack. No. Jamie Foxx not wake up in the morning and say, I want to make niggas soft. No. This is somebody behind him that's plotting that. If that's even what they're plotting. Because I know what this directly is. And if you don't see it, You might be a little sexist your damn self. This is a direct attack on the black woman. It's a direct attack on the black woman. He's playing the ugliest woman in the world. Can you go back real quick though? That woman right there, that's his new baby mama. He doesn't really deal too much with the black femininity.
Stop it.
He does agree that a woman that looks like Wanda is the ugliest woman in the world. Go to the next picture, please. We about to
Damn, Gina.
Booyah! That's the first baby mama. I don't think he's really too much a fan of the Wanda types. Mm-hmm.
Wait,
he meant that literally.
Which one is the first? The one on the left. That's Wanda, his baby mama.
Ancient tribe also called Copper Kula. Okay, but Wanda for them is that princess, brother, and don't forget that.
The one on the left is his baby mama.
No, the one on the right is his child, but that's who he had the child with.
It ain't no.
That's the first baby.
Got the gun, you heard?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man, I want to approach that. You said he was paid to do it. He still does Wanda freely on talk shows. He busts out the character at any drop of a moment. He loves making fun of black women. He's not the only one. I walked through the ghetto. I spent 14 years in prison. Let me tell you something I saw in prison. Dudes in the day room. I hate these hoes. Imitating them though. Don't you hate when your mama do? Yes, dudes like to wrap their head up and move their hands all weird. I don't even want to do it. I was gonna give you an imitation. I can't. I'm too manly. I can't even move my body. I can't do it. It's divide and conquer. It's take the man who doesn't know how to deal with his emotions, who probably was raised by women, and now he's mad. Black bitch, this, that. He's making fun of her, but really he's playing with the makeup and all that, imitating her. Let's take that man and use him to do the Medusa effect again. That's all they're doing. It's Medusa all over again. Modern day Little Richard. Didn't you say he was paid to do it, brother? Oh, we got 230 in here. Can we clap it up? They want to hear about this, Crumb. They want to hear about this. Thank me later, Crumb. I picked the right one this time.
Question. Who ripped off Little Richard? Answer. According to Vice.com's article titled "Black Artists Are Still Getting Ripped Off the Way Little Richard Was," it reads, over the years, the song made millions of dollars for specialties owners. Let me try to make that bigger, maybe. You don't mind? I'm sorry. Let's make it just a little bit bigger.
I got you.
Sorry about that.
No, you good.
Thank you. Over the years, the song made millions of dollars for specialties owner, a white man named Art Roop or Rupee. But Richard received only a fraction of the proceeds. Roop brought Tutti Frutti for $50 and paid Richard half a cent for every copy it sold.
Yeah. So I seen somebody put Jamie Foxx was paid to do it. Yeah, we covering all bases today, y'all. We didn't say Jamie Foxx wasn't paid to do it. We telling y'all what's going on. We're talking about the attack on black masculinity. I know we like to smoke weed and talk a lot and get deep, but don't lose focus. Crip Jesus is good at keeping focus on the one subject, sometimes too good. The subject here is an attack. Who is attacking not just masculinity? We can't just talk about, it's attack on masculinity, a Chinese dude, a black masculinity. This is an infiltrated, indirect attack on black femininity. We passed the masculinity part, the first hour. This is an attack on black femininity. They're using a black man who was raised by women and probably has a little, obviously has an issue with them. He doesn't see them as beautiful to play the most ugly woman in the world, but he's there dressed as himself. How do you see yourself with a wig on as the most ugliest woman in the world? Exactly, man. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to understand this. Yep. Look at that, Crumb. Attack on the black family. Didn't Jamie play in this movie?
Ooh. Yeah, damn, Gina, he did. Okay.
This movie supposedly has the word, fuck you nigger or something, 150 times. Like this script was a hard sell in Hollywood, man. whether you like the movie or not, it was a hard sell in Hollywood to get anybody to agree to make a movie in 2000. What was it, like 15, 16, with raping black women and saying "F you, nigger" a million times, and making a story that a lot of us at this point in time, with all the knowledge and research, kind of half-assed don't agree with some of the details that was in the movie. So this is a reinforcement, just like a reinforcement of Wanda. We're not saying there's not no black women in the ghetto without fathers, but we're seeing what they're doing. They're writing their own character and creating their own character and using it to teach others to imitate it. Shout out to the 234 we got in here, man. Can we keep going just to entertain them, because they want to know? They must have heard from the others what we in here talking about.
Got the gun. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
We might have to run a couple slides back and revisit a couple things, because
I think they got the gun, you heard?
Hey, listen, we got some more. No, listen, if they want to hear, what they need to hear is about the conscious community attack on black masculinity. Yeah, because that's a conversation that need to be dealt with. I know a lot of people might not want to deal with that, but
that goes back to the first slide, because remember I came in with the CRIP, and I said that's why I didn't take it off the name. The black conscious community does have an attack on black masculinity as well. But let's keep going here though, because that right there, I need to know what that is. I need to know what that is. What was that? What was that?
Oh,
that was Malachi Z. York.
This is Dr. York right here.
Brothers, just give me just a second. I just want to make sure that we, do this the right way. Family, without further ado, I just want to add the brother to the room. Peace and love, MOI. How are you?
Peace and love. How you feeling?
All is well. All is truly well. I just want to take a moment, and if you could tell the family who you are and where we can find you at.
Peace and love, family. It's me, MOI. Misinformation. As I've been saying, I don't know how many years. How many years I've been saying this shit? I've been saying it for a long time. You go on to find me on CRIP TV network. This time. On Instagram, Minister Informer.
That's right, family. Go to Instagram. And, this is what we've said, but go give him a Grammy. Go give him a Grammy. Go to Instagram, give him a Grammy. Brother, you're doing numbers on Instagram. Big numbers. Minister Informing on Instagram.
Check. Can you hear me? Hold on. Check. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, but I think somebody got me shadow banned on Instagram because my numbers are like holding steady, and I can't go fucking live for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So all my Instagram followers, I haven't been on there in a while, so not bad. But you guys please continue though.
Yeah, we were just building on the attack on black masculinity, as you already know, and we had just got to this particular picture. Minister, do you know who this is?
Yeah, I know exactly what it is. That's Dr. York, the singer.
Dr. Malachi Z. York, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see the gay light down there. Wow.
Family, look in the bottom right-hand corner.
I did not see that, bro.
Yeah, this is interesting. Dr. Inky, could you talk to me a little bit about this, please?
Yes, sir.
It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
So a lot of people know that I've been on this thing with the chakras and talking about Bobby Hemmett and his students and how they've invaded the conscious community with this perverted idea of the chakras and anal sex. So what people don't understand is that this has already been out there. Bobby Hemmett was promoting the Dr. York program, and it's here in case anybody wants to look it up. These are quotes directly from the classes because this was all a part of the case. So he was actually doing classes on this material. And here is the quote unquote from Dr. York. Gatekeepers are born totally feminine in body with a male spirit, or totally masculine in body with a female spirit. So the anatomy is a woman completely with all the physical attributes of a female with a male spirit inside of her, or a male with the physical attributes of a male, a female inside of him. And these are the gateways and the guardians. Now, he goes further to say, he kills, abuses all he calls gay, H word, F word, because of their inner homophobias taught by his own creator's religions of Abrahamism. So he created the homophobia in hopes of killing the gatekeepers, in hopes of killing those who can open the gates. And he goes further to say he doesn't live under our law. He's not a student enrolled under earth principles. He does not have the morals that we have. Our idea of morals is different. So this is now ingrained in a large portion of the conscious community, that the gatekeepers are actually the people that we need to follow and perform these rituals that he was performing on the land in order to make it into heaven. And that's kind of where Tyler Perry, that's where Tyler Perry got the idea for Ruthless, you know, with everybody living in trailers and the Most High having forced intercourse with all of the men on the property because of what came out of Eatonton, Georgia. And so now, whether we like it or not, a lot of this is ingrained in the psyche of people in consciousness. And they think that this is some sort of secret teaching of Egyptians or Kemetics or the Israelites or the Sumerians, that the gods, in order to know, you know, the tree in the garden, you know, the tree in the garden of knowledge that make you a god, like, you know, that tree in the garden was, you know, the phallus, and, you know, the men had to know the men. And, you know, it goes a lot further in detail that I don't care to share right now with the people. But I just wanted to show how that has got into the conscious community. And now, you know, you have to be on guard, even amongst those who you would consider conscious. You have to understand what it is that they're offering when they talk about these different activations of, you know, your spirit and all that located in your anus and some of these things. So, yeah.
Hey, I could bear witness. I can show you where what you're saying, that thought process and that even click existed. Now, you see in Sodom and Gomorrah, they were doing this all to each other. Like it was like a ritual. And when the angel dudes came, they said, look, man, I'll give you my daughter. You could have my daughter. Remember the dude said, you can have my daughter. They said, no, we want them two angels right there from God. We want to know them carnally in their anuses, right? Now, if you look at Hindu art with the orgy stuff, you look at certain Hindu masters. I remember when I was in jail, I had a book. I showed it to a brother. He said, man, that dude looked like a girl. And I started reading, and as I got higher level, they had Hindu teachings, which goes back to the Naga tribe. And I know York likes to go deep, deep, deep. Sometimes you get too deep because you get motherfuckers talking about there was a world full of men without women yet, and you get stupid. So they have a thing where they talking about the highest level is identifying with your masculine and feminine, to where you can't even tell your gender, and you're just the ultimate being above either or. But this all goes with conceit. This all goes with trying to break out of the normalcy of nature. And I'm a mad scientist. I will show what I can do. I'll open the super shop.
There's a lot of psychological seeds that have been planted. Like, you know, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. People don't know where these phrases come from that are planted in the community. Because when you start to identify with that concept, they also tell you that spirit doesn't have a gender. You know, there's no gender on spirit. And, you know, God is androgynous. And then that opens the way up. If God is androgynous, for the gatekeepers to God to also be both sexes at the same time. And then so you get all of these ideas that's not grounded in reality or science. Because when we go even to the smallest particles of energy, you still have positive and negative, male and female. You know, so duality is what's at the essence of existence. You don't have friction, then you don't have creation. And friction is not like on like. Friction is different coming together. So at every level, that's what you have to create larger and larger what we know of as sources of genetic information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see, they feeling that hat. They feeling that hat, man.
Hey, I appreciate that. Please support by going to the website and click on the link. Go to the clothing line. We got a whole line dedicated to the fight of melanin versus diabetes. One of my largest discoveries was that diabetes had less to do with insulin and more to do with melanin. Insulin is not what controls sugar and appetite and all of those different things in the body. It's a hormone in your brain called melanin concentrating hormone. And that's what actually regulates your appetite and cleaning the sugar up, along with glucagon. Melanin concentrating hormone and glucagon actually get rid of the sugar and the insulin in your body. But please definitely support as we go, go further in our fight to bring awareness to the reason why type 2 diabetes is primarily amongst, yellow, brown, and black people.
And I want y'all to know, for y'all that think that we came full circle, the Greeks, before it was called drag queen, that drag queen, what I'm trying to explain to y'all is drag queen is the TV dinner microwave put together version, proving there's a satanic plot scheme agenda, all that. That's why I showed you the man who was first named it. He had the slave master. He was being led through the balls, all that. But long ago, when they were walking around, dragging their robes around and dragging their dresses on the ground and all that, back on the stage in Athens and Sparta and all that, you know what I mean? And back in Greece and all that, in the Macedonian Empire and all that, right? Yeah. Welcome. I see somebody right here in the chat. Welcome to the world of the Greeks. They used to meet up. They're mentors. All those words had sexual connotations with them. The mentors, like Aristotle to Alexander, at the gyms, there's secret societies that were all male. In these groups, they practice this chakra thing he's talking about, getting the extra energy. You know what I'm talking about.
I wanted to see if MOI wanted to weigh in on anything in terms of the attack on Black masculinity. We've really gone over the historicity of it from back in the day, but we know there's been some current events. Did you want to chime in, or what were you thinking, MOI?
Yeah, I sent that link in the group chat. So we can pull it up. Send the CRIP because I wanted CRIP to keep a tab on this gentleman. I don't know the proper term to say. This androgynous being won this award. I think for the Grammys. I want to say, was it Grammys? Whatever the latest award show was, this individual won it. But he was acting in what we're talking about tonight. Like he was acting, I guess, as his true self. He said, emasculated. Yeah, it's right here. And it's also like society is pushing this agenda. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I'm not sure if you guys have gotten to Dr. Cress Welsing, but it's something that she's a huge advocate, or was, God bless her soul. Dr. Cress Welsing was been on this since the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Another gentleman who's on my Instagram page been on this since the 70s and the 80s. But I think, it's become more popularized. And I'm not sure if you guys mentioned the fact that Black women are some of the most number one champions of this particular lifestyle. Black women are. No other culture of women encourages their men to be like this. East Indian don't do it. The Far East Indians don't do it. The No other culture does this. Perpetuates that their men be like women.
Wow.
So I know you guys probably went over Tyler Perry and others. Martin is like a Hollywood ritual. Kevin Hart had to do it. They all had to do it. Put on a dress. And the interview with Dave Chappelle and Oprah, Dave Chappelle told Oprah that's why he got off Saturday Night Live. I mean, off of his show, because they wanted him to put a dress on. And Dave Chappelle told him he's not with that. And they tried to convince him, and he left. So Dave said the same thing to Oprah, like, why are these black men got to put dresses on?
Wow.
All of them. I mean, but we look at movies like CB4 with Chris Rock, not Chris Rock, Chris Rock, yeah, Chris Rock and CB4. He had one on. We all watched Big Mama House 1, 2, and 3. And the young man who played in part 3, I think it was, with Martin, he had to put his dress on. And he has a whole Hollywood true story about how he got molested and stuff. I mean, so it's now this brother right here, even though he just made those magazine covers, he has played some of the masculine roles in TV history. Like every role he plays is a masculine role. Every role he ever played. Like you can't find one role he wasn't masculine. Everything he played, he's a masculine black man.
Well, I was gonna try to keep you honest on that one. Number one, just to add value to what the minister said, family, I want to ask you, for those who have eyes, let them see. What magazine is he on? The minister said it was brought to you by. The minister just told you this was brought to you by a certain gender, by a certain so-called race. Melanated women, our sisters, however you want to refer to them, queens, gods, put some respect on their name. This picture, this new controversial picture, is brought to you by Ebony Magazine. Just breathe and just kind of let that marinate a little bit.
Yeah, but
Ebony.
See, that goes back to what I was saying. I don't like from my studies, right? There's white man behind pushing that goes back to what I said, the Medusa effect. There's white man behind pushing this to the black woman.
Well, let me just give us some. Hold on. Let me share this screen real quick because I wonder if everybody remembers when the imagery changed, right? Because there's a moment in black pop culture where the imagery changes. Hold on, let me make sure y'all see the imagery changes because as CRIP was showing through his presentation, you have the older depictions of the drag queens, and it's a very feminine look that's associated with all alternative sexual preferences, right? Because I'm also getting ready to play devil's advocate in a minute and show y'all something that people may not know about. But before I do that, I want to take y'all to this moment in history. And it came to mind when MOI just brung up the brother on this guy here, Jonathan Majors, I believe his name is, on the Ebony magazine, because he was in this TV show Lovecraft. When Lovecraft came out, I was in love with the idea of Lovecraft because they was mixing like the magic and the mysticism and a little fake craft, little fake craft stuff in there with the black folks and the history and all that. I was like, yo, this TV show gonna be fire. And out of nowhere, this guy popped on the screen, and I knew it was all gonna get different.
I was gonna go to Omar. He was the first one, and let me just take a moment just to breathe just a second. If he was the first one to anybody else in the listening audience, and for those who are going to catch this later, if he was the first one for you to really bring an attack on, he was the most masculine person in the movie, in the whatever.
He was the one that changed the image to the thug version of this alternative sexuality.
If you think he was the first one, this is listening audience, those are going to catch this later. If you think he was the first one, press 666. I'm going to press 666 as well. I think I agree with the good doctor. For me, he was the first one. It was a great disappointment, but yeah, please continue.
And they made him the toughest guy in the show. Yeah. That was the whole idea with The Wire, to make this guy the toughest guy in the show that none of the tough guys could kill. They even brung in, pay attention to this part, they even brung in, going back to, not yet, but going into the Nation of Islam. They even showed the Nation of Islam, the bow tie killers, quote unquote. They brung them in to try to kill Omar, and they couldn't even do nothing with Omar. So remember, the Nation of Islam had served as the beacon for what Black masculinity was. We talk about Malcolm X, we talk about Muhammad Ali, but we forget that the reason why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not listed, or has never have been listed, as the GOAT of basketball is because he was pro-Black and he spoke out, where Michael Jordan forsaked any Black issues. In fact, if you came around Michael Jordan even playing rap music or R&B, so he didn't want to hear none of that. So the reason why Michael Jordan was listed as the GOAT, even though he only had 3 championships, he got 3 championships. They put a statue outside of Chicago, not after 6, after 3. They put the statue out there, said greatest of all time, because remember, after 3, he retired. And he retired with 3 championships when Kareem had 6 championships, twice as many, and had the most points in the history of the NBA. But because he changed his name from Lou Alcindor to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and joined the Nation of Islam, and he would not participate in the corporate side of the business, they wouldn't list him as the greatest basketball player of all time. So it was important for them to bring in the Nation of Islam and show that this guy who had been to prison and had been, raped as a child, and now he's out raping men and doing whatever. Yeah, graping, doing, R. Kelly and up folks. He out there R. Kelly and up folks. You know what I'm saying? He out there R. Kelly and up folks. So yeah.
Can I say something though?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was presenting a new element before we switched up, and I wanted to say this, that when you see what I was showing you before in the first hour, you see a direct attack on the Black masculinity. What you're seeing now, that I think a lot of people like to skip over because we're very, male driven, is that what's going on now, these men are considered straight by even us. I'm not saying I personally consider straight. I'm saying the Black male community considers Martin a family man, considers Tyler Perry a top businessman, considers Jamie Foxx a sex symbol. So these men don't have, it has nothing to do with the feminization right now. I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm saying that these men are being hired to tear up Black feminization. This is what's not being talked about. These men, when you're complaining, saying these women all turned up and they're not acting mad, this is where they started with Shanae. It started with Wanda. It started with the, hey, what's up, y'all? Oh, it goes.
Let me correct. Let me add the correction. He wasn't an active member, but he was following the teachings. And because of those teachings, that's what led him to change his name from his slave name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's a lot of people that never actively joined the nation, but they follow those teachings. You know what I'm saying?
But he joined with what was the boy? Remember they ended up killing all the people and all that? He ended up joining with
and there was some kidnaps. Just leave that out of this. Yeah, leave that out of this video. Let the chat room have their thing.
Like I was saying, the attack on I'm saying this, that a lot of these guys we see now, they went so far with the gay thing. You can hear that all over the music and all that. That's not the big old thing. And a lot of these black dudes, that's another video we gotta do, because I think people mix the two. There's a difference between a dude that was raised feminine, a bunch of dudes, and a dude who's being paid to do something. I'm talking about a paid direct attack. Like literally, like dudes being paid to make fun of the black woman, to make you not attracted to the black woman, to convince the black woman to take on characteristics that will scare you away from her. Dudes are being paid to do that. Yes.
Let me tell you how far it went. Okay, go ahead, Kron.
That's why nobody wants to be grandma no more, because they paid Martin to do the big mama thing and all of that. Like, come on, bro.
Well, also, grandma is now 27 years old.
We got a little bit more than 10 minutes. Let's try to wrap it up. I was gonna just kind of, okay, please.
Yeah, let me just put this in there. How far this attack has went, right? The attack has went so far that you now have this group, which is called the GAG movement. These are a group of alternative queer men and women that are against the grooming of young children. That's right, to become because even within the community. So I just want to make it clear that, you know, this is not about being anti-gay. This is not about being homophobic. None of that. This is about an effort to inculcate and incubate a specific type of behavior that goes against nature, and it goes against God, and it goes against procreation. And if we're not paying attention, these are the things that are driving the economy, and some of the things that we see in our society that we can't understand, because there are a lot of states in America, a lot of countries in the world where we are at a standstill in terms of reproduction. We're not making babies. You know what I'm saying? We may be making one baby for one person that passes. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's horrible. We died. Can you put that back up there? Let me read that, because I think people need to understand that. I think you just tied the whole thing together. We're against the groomers. People are coming to us in the guise of LGBTQ. Remember, I put the slide up, slavery disguised as LGBTQ. They're coming to us like that, but they're trying to get your kid, dumb them down, give him some candy, rub on his butt, say, do this, do that. Because once you get them in control, anything sexually groomed up, they're going to do anything. You see it with these singers. You see it with these dancers. You see it with the internet. Here, do this, twerk, show your booty. You get more likes, more points. Come over here, do this, do that. Gays Against Groomers is a coalition of gay people who oppose the recent trend of indoctrinating. That's all right. That's normal. You're not with that. Like your video show. That's indoctrination. They're down there finna shoot a bullet in your butt by the time you're done talking to you. Sexualizing and medicalizing. Come on, y'all. We really got that far now. We're medicalizing children under the guise of LGBTQIA plus .com.999.
Let me read this. I'll let MOI get the final thoughts. I don't know if anybody ever heard of MAPS, but it's they're trying to get this to be the newest letter.
I think that's a part of that NAMBLA program.
Yes, it is. But NAMBLA is exclusively gender specific. MAPS is not. A pedo, including several different types, a minor attracted person, an adult who is attracted to a minor. They said stop calling them the P word, start calling them MAPS. But MOI, Give us your final thoughts. What do you think?
I wanted to pull this clip up, and I'm not going live until 9:30, so we got a little bit of time. I mean, shit.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Same people gonna tune back in anyway. So.
Yeah, if we got time, we got time.
Yeah, are they gonna just flip the channels? All right, so I wanted to show this real quick, so I can share my screen on here. Present, share screen. There it is. All right. Not sure if you can hear this or not. Let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
What the hell is this? What is this?
It's on my page. I've been talking about this.
Yeah, I seen it on your page.
It's hard to watch, champ. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
It's hard to watch. Hold on. I guess that's more reality for it. I'm not sure you guys can hear what was being said, but
no, you can't hear it.
The European psychologist was explaining how they're reprogramming black males, and the households are now to where the black women are saying that they don't need men. I got it. I'm independent. And the black daughters are saying that I don't want a man, and the black sons are saying I don't want to be a man. That's called social engineering.
Hold on.
We gotta absorb that.
Wait.
Let him get the
MOI just started some shit up now. Hold on now. MOI just started some shit. Now that's what MOI.
Let's let MOI finish. Let him have the floor. That's right.
MOI is in the building. Goddamn, they ain't
got enough time for that, man.
He just said, okay, we got time. I'm sorry, I forgot. We do got time. MOI gave us 30 minutes.
Listen. That came from Margaret Sanger. And you guys got to understand that this is a part of that Democrat program that y'all keep going and blindly voting for these Democrats. Y'all don't understand that Martin Luther King was the first award winner of the Planned Parenthood Award back in 1966. Hillary Clinton was the winner of the Planned Parenthood Award back in 2009 when she came on TV and said she wanted to be the next Margaret Sanger. And all of these goofy black folks was getting ready to vote. Oh, we need to get Hillary in. Hillary was going to come in and sterilize you goofy niggas. That's what she was coming in to do. So y'all got to know this is the whole thing. And that's why, and I'm going to pass it right here, but that's why when the welfare was popping, up until very recently, you could not collect welfare and have a man at the house at the same time. In fact, after they changed those policies, they were still giving a boost to certain women who were single. So they would pay you more. And this is what created women sitting at home making babies with different men, getting rid of the men because they could get more money from the state. Once you add in the Section 8 with the Medicaid, with the welfare and this one and that one, the state was taking care of her financially better than the men could because they had their own oppression. And so there was a lot of different things that state-wise incentivized black women to put men in a certain type of place, in a certain type of pocket.
And I just want to add some historical context to that. Being barefooted and pregnant and having babies was never our black women. That was never our plight, ever. That was white European women plight that would be barefooted and pregnant in the kitchen, always maybe popping out babies. The reason that white women were trying to pop out so many babies because that's at the cusp of when the American Birth Control League. You can't jump to Margaret Sanger until you go to Niagara Falls, New York. Margaret Sanger was a nobody. This is called eugenics. Eugenics was the first thing to come on the planet. That Margaret Sanger modeled her ideals behind, and her first case was actually out of Indiana against the Ben Ishmael tribe. Because they were said she was the first one to begin to use words like feeble-minded, and if you declare to be feeble-minded, you'd be forced sterilized by the government automatically, male or female, because you were uneducated. You didn't know they're trying to get rid of the riffraff of society. A lot of the black boulets were behind that shit. Get rid of the black riffraff. You know, the thugs, the thug niggas who not doing anything for the community. Those people.
That's right. That's where William Shockley. Yeah, that's where William Shockley picked up the torch in his book about the bell curve. And that's how I fell in love with Frances Cress Welsing, not necessarily because of her book. You know, more people have read her book, I believe, than actually seen her live debate with William Shockley. Because William Shockley was trying to institutionalize and bring those ideas into the modern world. And she shut that down. She shut that down live in real time. So may she definitely rest in greatness. Yeah, but Frances Cress Welsing handled that.
And a lot of Frances Cress Welsing, not a lot of her work, some of her work was based on the fact that people like, what's his name? He wrote a book called The Rise of a Colored Tide. He was with Mr. Eugene Fisher out of Niagara Falls. See, y'all already know I get to talking. I'm gonna give y'all names, people, and dates and places. I'm not gonna shoot talk with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all who go to look up because we gotta hold people accountable for this shit and stop saying that this thing just started out of the mind of one little white woman, Margaret Sanger, because it did not start out her brain. She was a nobody. Margaret Sanger was a freaking nobody. Zero. She's running around looking for finance to finance her first little newspaper article called the Birth Control Review. And she was talking about positive eugenics on how to increase the white population in America. This is the late 1930s, 40s through the 50s to try to increase white population. And to help do that, in the 1920s, you had people like Abbott Plecker in Virginia invoking what's called the one-drop law, right? Then the book called The Rising Color of a Tide, I think his name in a minute. He wrote that book, scaring the hell out of white America, saying there's too many black people in America. And what happens around the 20s? Around the 20s, you get the influx of Europeans coming from Europe up there at Staten Island. They were trying to repopulate the white society of America because it had diminished dramatically. It was never that many over here in the first place. Okay. Yep. So Francis Galton was one of them. You have Johann Blumenbacher, he was one of them too. Okay. Samuel Morton, he's one of them. I'm giving y'all the names to go look up. Charles Darwin's cousin, his cousin of Francis Galton. In his book, the dealing with evolution had a longer title, but Hitler gave accreditation to Francis Galton, and Margaret Sanger was in the Swiss meeting in 1939 with Adolf Hitler's general. This was a world situation that came to eugenics, not just the birth control shit with black women. This shit was worldwide. Charles Davenport is another one. He's an intricate player too. See, these people, Charles Davenport was the one in 1902. Again, he was the one who started the eugenics project, positive eugenics, to try to increase white population. Then negative eugenics came into play in the late 20s and early 30s. But again, you will have a depopulation attempt of Negroes in America because there were too many. There's too many Negroes in America. They had to reclassify them as such. That's when words like mulatto came into play, and octroon and quadroon. You got to follow the whole entire history of the shit. Yep.
Let me ask you, are you familiar with how it got into the school system?
What do you mean?
So they tried to put this in the school system in the colleges around the world as eugenics. Eugenics. They tried to teach eugenics. They put eugenics in colleges as a course. And that's actually where microbiology came from. And a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that a large part of the theory of quote unquote Charles Darwin's theory of evolution is rooted in this. And so people are actually teaching these these ideas to their children without knowing the roots of what they're teaching. And this is how we still have this stuff so pervasive today.
Could I?
Well, I want to. Well, go ahead. I sure want to add something though.
Well, I was gonna just read a couple searches off the internet, so I guess you can go first, please, Crip Jesus.
I want people to know that we can go deep, but we can keep this simple too. Planned Parenthood goes before even that. Planned Parenthood goes back to the Bible. Jesus is an example of resistance of Planned Parenthood. King Herod put out an order to murder all the little boys, right? Then you go back to Moses, same thing. So I feel like the sexual aspect is meant to shock us and you don't see what's really going on. You feel what I'm saying? Like you pointed out, it's a depopulation throw. You feel what I'm saying? That's all it is, a depopulation play.
Facts. Yeah.
I just want to point out to people that even Moses, Jesus, even these people you see in the Bible, it was the same play. You feel what I'm saying? Kill it, get her to kill it off before she has anything. It's the earlier abortion.
Oh shit. Hold on, Carl. Check this brother right here out. Jawan's Kufa. Check him out. This brother been teaching this since the 80s. Again, this is all on my page and on one of my Instagram page, Mr. Informant.
Isn't he an educator? I read several of his books.
Yeah,
he's an educator, right? Yeah, I know who he is.
But he's dropped. Look, this was
he talks about the psychology being used on young black males.
This was posted July of 2020. This was posted 3 years ago on my page. It's on my page. When I was putting people on game about the whole emasculation back then, black men, black fathers. This is deep, man. It's deep and it's crazy. It's everywhere. It's just like Inky mentioned, just like CRIP, just like all of us are saying. It's in almost every facet and institution you can think of. It's everywhere. It's freaking everywhere.
You're right. It does shock how much you like once you open your you almost want to keep your eyes closed to it because once you open your eye to it, you just see it all over the place.
What's the brother name? Crum in Cali. I think he was a professor. He found out that they was putting stuff in the water. Remember, they was experimenting on frogs at first. They experimented on frogs, and he
absolutely. It's the hold on, give me 1 second. It's atrazine. Atrazine. Yeah, atrazine. But to take it a step further, atrazine is in the food. So the reason why he was talking about it and he got so much publicity with it is because atrazine was actually in some of the foods that people are consuming without knowing. And so sometimes when these things creep up, we can take it even a step further. Sugar by itself. Sugar at when moms are pregnant, sugar actually can reverse the patterns that develop in the brain for the neurohormones. And the neurohormones have to do with not necessarily the physical development of the body, but the mental development. How your brain
right there. And that's what this whole video is about, y'all. Yeah. It's about them trying to suppress our energy. Sex is just the base of your energy. You feel what I'm saying? It's just an expression of the energy. It's about them taking the most core, basic foundation of our energy and suppressing it. Not to cut your wisdom, guy. I just had to. I caught when you said that. It just boom. You feel what I'm saying? How it hits the mental and the physical, and they go together.
This is August of 2020. This commercial with Celine Dion goes into the nursery and she changes the gender. Watch the video. I'm gonna narrate it for you.
Oh wow!
See girls and boys, blue and pink. Watch this voodoo dust she pours out and changes the gender to everybody. To there is no gender no more. There is no. Watch that. Boom. You see the little evil dolls in the background. Hold up. Let's show you right there. See the evil dolls? Listen, if I had time, man, we're gonna do a part 2. Don't worry.
These are children.
We're gonna do a part 2.
Wait, you can't make this up. You can't make this up.
Watch this now. These are 2 little boys up here up top.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I low-key want to stop and let the people absorb all this. We didn't hit them with so. Let them eat this up.
Hold on.
Hold on, wait. Play that again. Play that one more time because I don't even understand what the hell I just seen.
Listen. Just wait a second. Did y'all know that Greece is the only place you can get away with this stuff to this day? That's why your boy went to Greece. He moved. He's a Greek citizen now, so they couldn't prosecute him. Did y'all know that already?
Teach.
Pedestrian. Yeah, all this stuff. It's not called pedophilia. It's called pedestrian. And pedestrian is a sexual activity involving a man and a boy. This goes back to the Greek god, all the way back to who, Crom? Back to Zeus.
Come on.
When he scooped up Aquarius. His little gay ass. It's Aquarius season. Yeah, it is Aquarius season.
What?
No, don't say it's so.
Bearer. Listen to me. And Crum put me on this. Aquarius
Playing
is
with
the
that
water
zodiac.
bearer.
See, look at that zodiac be mixed with them chakras now.
It's so funny.
Hold on, wait a minute.
It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?
Listen, hear me out.
His name is Ganymede.
Listen, Ganymede was taken by Zeus. Zeus came in the form of an eagle and snatched him up. This is a little boy.
Correct.
And Zeus made him a little slave. He had to pour all the gods' wine out. That's what the little water pitcher's for. That's
right, the water bearer.
MOI, let me ask you before I forget. Yeah. I ain't trying to cut you off. So this is where the cherub comes from, the little baby cherub on the paintings?
No.
In the church?
No.
They got the little baby cherubs all naked flying around?
No. This is
Ezekiel. The cherub look
they look like a little. I'm not talking about the actual cherub. The cherub in Ezekiel is the Bible. I'm talking about when they draw a cherub on the wall. It's not a naked baby in the Bible. We know that, right?
No, what I'm telling you is the association with cherubims had nothing to do with babies. That's a dissociation.
No, I'm not saying it had nothing to do with babies. I know that. I'm saying this. The little baby they're drawing on the wall, that looks like that to me.
Yes.
I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
He's right. He's just not called a cherubim, but you're absolutely right. Those naked babies. But this is Zeus. Now, this is where mentor comes from.
Right.
And the mentee. This is where it's come from.
And see, didn't I say that earlier, Crumb?
Yeah.
Y'all mentioned
that's what Aristotle was to
Greece.
Alexander. That's what a mentor is in the Greek culture.
Right.
Yeah, but this is not Greek culture. This is not Greek culture.
What's this?
Okay? This was the merger of the Greco-Roman era to be right.
Yeah, Greco means Greek.
Right. But it's the Greek Romans then Greco-Roman. Totally different situations is what I'm saying. Totally different situations.
So Greco-Roman is when
they got together.
Oh, Augustus. I can tell you who it was. Augustus hired people to copy Greek culture and put it into Latin.
I'm not going to debate that, but what I'm saying is,
let him speak, good brother. Keep going, NY. What are you saying now?
It's just the merger of the culture. So this is when homosexuality really took hold because they had those festivals. Remember, they were henotheistic in nature. This is the whole toga. You said it earlier. They had the togas on. The togas was dragging the floor. Those robes, those are togas. This is when they was getting down in Rome. This is when they was getting down. But
it's the Caligula.
Right. Thank you. That's the word I want. Thank you.
Because in Caligula, it shows that the little boys was getting, instead of bottles to drink from, they was getting, male, organs. Yeah. But that's the Greco-Roman era. Go ahead, Crum.
I just want to show something real quick to the family because we were talking about the whole Margaret Sanger, Planned Parenthood, whatever the case may be. I don't know if anybody, and let me just tap in with the listening audience just for a hot second. If you did not know this, press 5. We've already done 666. Press 555. 45%, almost half, 45% of women are expected to be single and childless by 2030 per recent projection. There's this thing called passport bros and this and that and yada yada yada. 60% of all black women or women in general, black women in particular, in America who have 2 children, if they have 2, there's a 60% chance that it's by 2 different men. The higher value men per se are leaving. Like this isn't even no Kevin Samuels thing. Like this is, there aren't going to be no more, we'd love to say that white people, Tamahu, troglodyte, flugelrod, whatever you want to call them. Oh, they're going extinct. Nah, family. Nah, you can't put it on Becky. This is all women in America. Almost half by 2030, almost half of every woman in America will not even have no babies no more. Family, ain't nobody playing. I'm sorry. I got one more thing, but I'll let you go and then I'll show this. It's pretty jarring.
Hold on before you go there, because now, okay, this is crazy. There's a show. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. They're gonna vaccinate the plants.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Before we get into that, listen. There's a TV show that I think is very pertinent at this point in this conversation for us to go ahead and check out. Okay, you got some spare time. I need you guys to check out this TV show called The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale is about a time in America in the not so distant future where they won't be able to have children. And so they'll be bringing slavery back full time, enslaving the women and raping the women and blah. It's all based on those projections that you just showed right there. The only thing is, I didn't know that those were real projections until you just pulled them up onto the screen. God damn it, Crumb. You need to drop your own bomb for that.
Well, okay, let me just drop a bomb real quick for that, and then I got to show this one thing. And well, actually, I don't even have it on this one. But yeah, let me just go over some stuff, because somebody said this information is false. Well, if that's what you think, perfectly fine. But I already did a video on it, and I've gone very deep into the information. So watch this. Let's just see. Japan birth rate. Remember, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing already told you goofies about this. You gotta have, for every man and woman, you gotta have at least 2 babies. That's no birth. I'm sorry, no population growth, no population decrease. From one generation, we stay the same. 3 babies, that's population growth. 1 baby, that's population decline. Your population is going down. That's Japan. Look over here, United States. You're not at 2 children per 2 people. For anybody who doesn't understand what that means, that's bad. Let's go to China. You gotta have something. Almost done. You gotta have at least 2 babies per 2 people. China don't got that. Let's go to another one. France birth rate. France doesn't even have 2. Germany birth rate. Germany doesn't have 2. South Korea birth rate. South Korea's not even having 1 baby. Oh my God. South Korea's going extinct. Brazil birth rate.
Over there. Hold on, America's over there in South Korea too.
Give me a second, brother.
European thinking.
Brazil birth rate, not even 2. Wow. Argentina birth rate, you're barely getting to 2. Spain birth rate, you're not even close to 2. This is all across the world. For anybody who said, oh, Crumb, this little article, that's fake. How? It can't be. The only time you're going to see positive birth rate, Uganda birth rate. They having babies over there. Those girls pushing babies out. Nigeria birth rate. They having but in less than 100 years, Nigeria will have more people in that country than China got in their country. Let me just check let's just check the facts, and I'll pass the mic on that one. Nigeria will have more people than China in less than 100 years. This is according to Business Insider, Africa.businessinsider.com. This ain't blackpower.com or whatever like that. It says Nigeria to overtake China as the second most populous country in the world by 2100. The UN has projected that by 2030, the world population will be 8.5 billion, because we're not going to reach 9. We will not reach 9 billion. I give you my word. With these numbers, your ass will not see 9 billion. Population's going down. Oh, Crumb, overpopulation. Where? Oh, Crumb is white people. No, not white people. Only in Africa will you see a positive birth rate. Anybody know where everywhere is at? Everywhere else, those girls ain't having no babies. And in America, almost half the population of women ain't pushing out no. The ish got so bad they had to outlaw Roe v. Wade. All right, guys, no more abortions. Popular. We gotta outlaw Roe v. Outlaw Roe v. Wade. So a lot of y'all got scared because when we talk about Roe v. Wade, we got to talk about Loving versus Virginia. Oh, I can't marry me a white girl no more after Roe v. Don't worry, you can still marry a white girl, but Roe v. You can't have no more abortions.
Hey, look,
I'm done.
Check this out, bro. And that's what I was saying about the eugenics, y'all. The eugenics work the same way. They had to start positive eugenics for white people to get their birth rate up. And they noticed that the Negroes outnumbered them, so they started negative eugenics for Negroes. So everything y'all were saying was right and exact, but we have to give the historicity to how it all came about. I think that makes sense to explain why it was like that, not just because some evil pale person decided to kill off dark people. No, because they just been at minus birth rate for so long. Everybody's dying out. Anyway, and listen, guys, we gotta get ready to queue up for the next segment, whatever the case is. Definitely want to invite y'all back on, and feel free to join me. But I go live with my shit. It's gonna be some scholarly work. I want everybody to add value to it. If you want to hop back on, I'm about to do the Moses Part 1 exposed. Talk about these magic mountain niggas on these mountains. Him and Muhammad. Everybody on these mountains going crazy. But if you guys want to hop on live with me, you can more than do so. Family, be sure to tap back in a couple minutes and check out the next upcoming live. Moses exposed, the mountain god. I'll be leading that sermon. Definitely want to get the fellas back on here though. To definitely add some value, because I see it's like almost 300 fucking people tapping. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. And I want y'all to before we go, I want y'all to definitely make sure y'all get that cardiology. We went through an intro in cardiology this morning. I think it's important for you guys to catch that, because that is the leading cause of death. So we can't have a conversation about birth without understanding what's causing the premature death that we're dealing with. So we have a very, very detailed, fun video about cardiology and how you can use just common things that you notice going wrong with you to diagnose your heart health and what you need to do to fix it in real time. So with that, the American Healer is going to sign out. CRIP Jesus, what you got for us, champ?
That we were talking about different elements of this, but we're talking about the attack on Black masculinity. You feel what I'm saying? The subvert, intrusive, infiltrated, covered up to look one way, covered up to look another way, to go down to a lesser evil. But as it was said in the beginning of the video, and for those that go back and look, you'll see. Peace.